Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Denise and I'm playing Animal Crossing New Horizons today. So for today's video, I am going to demolish my whole island. Everything is going down. Tropici is going to be one flat island at the end of today. And yeah, it took me a while to film this because I filmed this over the span of multiple days/weeks. Tropici was mainly a forest island, kind of forest core, I guess. So there's lots of trees, and every tree takes some time to get rid of. So yeah, this kept me busy over the past few days/weeks, but here I am. It's done, and I have to say, watching back the footage sped up, it's like one of those oddly satisfying things, and it gets better. So right now I'm cutting down the trees, but oof, it's so good when I start picking up the wood pieces. It also makes me happy just thinking that I have all this wood in my storage, because I'm always in need of wood. I'm always too lazy to get wood. Same goes for stone, by the way, which I still need a lot of. But I've got my supply of wood, so I'm good. So I wanted to do a voiceover just to talk to you guys a bit and tell you about this crazy adventure of demolishing my island. And also, since I'm still very new to this YouTube channel, I thought it would be fun to get to know me a little bit. So what I did is I looked up Animal Crossing tag, and there's not a lot of tag videos where you have to answer Animal Crossing questions. So what I did was I made my own. I just wrote down a lot of things. Some of them I don't even really know the answer to, so it's gonna be a thinking game. But I felt like that would be more genuine anyway, because yeah, I want to do this on the spot. I haven't really thought about any of these things prior to writing down the questions. So I think we should just dive into this. So the first question is, what is your island name? So my island is called Tropici. I wouldn't pick it again, but back then I didn't know that it was a permanent name and you couldn't change it. And the reason I went with Tropici is because I thought it was going to be a tropical island, and I was hoping for peaches as my native fruit. So yeah, that's why I went with Tropici. My player name. So my player name is Denise, which is basically just my real name. Yeah, I wanted to go with my real name. No particular reason. I just picked whatever came to mind. The next one is, who are your current villagers? So currently on my island are Maple, Molly, Fauna, Poppy, Aurora, Rolled, Sprinkle, Diana, Flora, and Marshall. And who are your dreamies? Okay, so my dreamies have changed a little bit throughout the past year. Not too much though, the majority is the same. Molly was always my top dreamy, and yeah, I'm not sure actually, but for now I would say I really want to add Ellie and maybe Melba to my island, because they fit my aesthetic and I think they're cute. But honestly, I'm not sure who I should let go, because I do really like my current villagers. Maybe I would let Rold go, but I think he's, like, in my head, he is paired with Aurora because they have the same catchphrase and they look kind of similar, so I think they're a couple. But the reason I got Rold in the first place is because my boyfriend really liked him, and I really like Rold too because he's very cute, and I don't like jock villagers, but the fact that he talks about his abs when he's a chubby little penguin with a chubby little belly is so funny and so cute to me. So yeah, I do really like Roald, but he might be the first to go, but I'm not sure yet. Who were your starter villagers? Okay, let me think. So the first two I started out with were Kit Kat, he was the jock, and Diva, she was the sisterly. And then the three new villagers that move into the three houses that you have to decorate, they were Nate, he was the lazy, Puddles was the peppy, and Diana was the snooty, which Diana is still here. She stuck around. Yeah, the rest had to go though. And then my first campsite villager was O'Hare. I think that was it. From that point on, it starts to, you start to randomly get villagers or go on villager hunts. So those were my starting villagers. And then the next question is, who is your very favorite villager? So like your top dreamy. So for me, that's Molly. Without a doubt, Molly is my number one. And if I had to pick a number two, it would be Maple. But yeah, Molly, she's a queen. She lives on this pedestal in my head. She's cute. What is your airport color? My airport is green. And yeah, I wish it was yellow. I think that would be cute, but I got the green one, which is fine. What is your favorite villager species? That is a tricky question actually, because Molly is my favorite, so I feel like I should say ducks. But apart from Molly and maybe Ketchup, I don't really like any of the other ducks. So I don't know. I mean, I have 3 penguins on my island, and I also really like Cube, who's also a penguin. So maybe penguins are my favorite species. Or deer. I have 2 deer right now, Diana and Fauna. I used to have Eric as well. And I also like Bo, which is also 4. So they might be tied with the penguins. But I also really like the new deer villager, the Sanrio one. So that would make 5. So maybe deer are my favorite villagers. Oh, maybe ostriches. I really love ostriches, and I know that they are not amongst the popular opinions. So maybe because of that, I'm gonna go for ostriches. Because the ostriches, they deserve some love. I love Flora, I love, what's her name? Julia. I love Blanche. Yeah, I like ostriches. And then, of course, my least favorite villager species. First to pop up in my mind is gorillas and monkeys. I don't like those. Not a fan of gorillas and monkeys in real life, so yeah, I don't really like those species. And there's also the obvious choices, like the anteaters. Not a fan of those. Don't like the hamsters either. Not a huge fan of the cats in general, but there's a few cats that I do really like. But I feel like there's too many cats. And I know this is actually an unpopular opinion, because a lot of people love the cats. I don't really care for them. Yeah, I also don't like goats. I sound like a very mean person right now because I'm naming so many species. But let's just go for monkeys and gorillas. My favorite season. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so I love fall. That is like my aesthetic. I love when the trees turn orange and red and brown and yellow. And I personally really like the yellowish shade of the grass in autumn, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm not a fan of the vibrant green that we see in spring and summer. I prefer the yellow grass in fall. So yeah, I think that's my favorite. But obviously I also love the cherry blossom season with the pink trees, and I also really like how dark the trunks of the trees get during the cherry blossom season. But autumn is my favorite, definitely. Least favorite season, of course, that has got to be winter. I actually lost interest in playing Animal Crossing during winter because I just really didn't like it. I did not enjoy making those snow boys. Didn't like the snow, but I think that's because I don't like snow in real life. I know I'm weird. Most people love snow, but I don't care for it. I love the sun and I don't like the cold. So winter has got to be my least favorite season. Native fruits. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I was hoping for peaches to be my native fruit, and I got really lucky because I got peaches on my first try, so I didn't even have to restart the game. And my second, how do you say it, your secondary fruit, your secondary native fruit, for me that was cherries, so I got peaches and cherries. What is your favorite fruit? Okay, so like I said, my favorite fruit is peaches, but my close second favorite is oranges. I really like the look of the orange trees, and I just really like orange as a color. Which is funny because I don't know about you guys, but from my personal circle of people that play Animal Crossing, a lot of them don't like oranges that much. But I really like them. I love the oranges. They're my second favorite. Least favorite fruits. My least favorite fruit is pears. It's just, I don't like how the pears are the same color as the leaves of the tree. So it's like green on green. Not a huge fan of that. Except, of course, in fall season, the pears do look kind of neat. But they would be my least favorites. Another fruit question. Can you tell I like fruits? The fruit you wish to add. So, if I could add any fruit to the game, my first would be bananas. I would love to see banana trees. Also because we don't have any yellow fruit yet, so I think that would be cute. And also pineapples, because they're like really tropical and we're on an island, so why not have some pineapples? And also I would love to add berries. The berries would be like kind of like the pumpkins, so you would like be able to harvest them and grow them, and I don't know, they would be like a farming thing. I think that would be cute to have like strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. I think that would be really cute. A villager species you would like to add. I would like to add dinosaurs. I think that would be cute to have dinosaurs in the game. You know, I am obsessed with bees, and I realize that bees would probably be terrifying as villagers. But, you know, I don't know how many of you have played Banjo and Kazooie on the Nintendo 64. I used to love that game. Speaking of which, when are we getting a new Banjo and Kazooie game? I mean, come on. Please, Nintendo. But in Banjo and Kazooie on the Nintendo 64, there was this seasonal level in which the seasons would change. And I think it was in summer, you could turn into a bee. And that kind of design, that kind of bee design, I could see that in Animal Crossing. And that would be a really cute villager. So yeah, bees. I want to add bees. And then also parrots. I would like to see parrots in the game. I know a lot of people are not a fan of the bird villagers. A lot of YouTubers especially mention that they're not into the birds. I love the birds because birds are one of my favorite animals in real life. So I'm obsessed with the ostriches. I like the ducks. I like the bird villagers. I'm okay with the eagles. I guess that's kind of an unpopular opinion, but yeah, I would like to see more birds and maybe parrots, because there's lots of parrot species. You could add budgies, all kinds of parrots, parrotlets, lovebirds. Just there's a lot of species you could add within the parrot villager. But my favorite would probably actually be the bee, the Banjo and Kazooie bee. What would your catchphrase be? My catchphrase, if I were an Animal Crossing villager, would be BBs. So BEEBEES. That is what I always call my dog. I call him BBs or Bumble BBs. And I also call my bird, my bird's name is Boo, so I always call Boo Bumble Boo Boo, and then I call the dog Bumble BB. So that's kind of like my personal catchphrase in real life. So yeah, that would translate well to Animal Crossing. So yeah, BBs would be my catchphrase. Favorite villager catchphrase? Oh, that's got to be Aurora's catchphrase, which is baby. I think it's so cute. And as I mentioned before, I feel like she is in a some sort of relationship with Roald, whether it be a platonic relationship or romantic, I don't know. But Aurora says baby and Roald says buddy. And I think it's so cute. And those are the two villagers that every time they ask me to change their catchphrase, I'm like, no, you're keeping your own catchphrase because it's just too cute. It's so precious. So yeah, Aurora and Roald, but especially Aurora, they're my favorite catchphrase wise. Favorite personality? Okay, so let's be honest. If you look at my villagers, and especially if you look at the fact that I wish to add Ellie and Melba to my villagers, you would think that normal is my favorite personality type, which actually it isn't. It really isn't. I think the normal villagers are pretty boring. Normal is boring, right? It's boring in real life, it's boring in game, it's just boring. Like, we love to be unique. But it's just, I know this is kind of superficial, but I care more about the aesthetic of a villager than the personality type. And I'm obsessed with brown, neutral shades. So most of the normal villagers are brown or neutral colored, so that's why I really like them. But in terms of personality, I don't like them that much, but it's fine. But my favorite personality is Smug. And that is because of Mr. Marshall, this queen who lives on my island. Marshall's he makes me laugh. He's so funny. His conversations are so hilarious. Like, every time I see him, I have to talk to him because he's just funny. And I like when he talks about being an influencer or writing a play and casting himself as the princess in the play. And like, yes, come through, Marshall. Love it. He's my favorite. I don't know if all the Smug villagers are like that, because I think Marshall is the only Smug I've ever had. But yeah, that's my favorite. Ooh, okay. Unpopular opinions. I think I already shared a few unpopular opinions, so I won't repeat those. But if I had to think of new ones that I haven't mentioned before. Right, okay, I know a lot of people love the goats, especially Sherb and Chev, but I'm not a fan, especially Sherb, because he's getting so much love that makes me like him even less, I guess. But I feel like the goat villagers, they remind me of a butt. I think they are shaped like a butt, their face, like a saggy butt, not like a cute peachy butt. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a saggy butt, but I wouldn't want a saggy butt for a face. So I'm not a fan of the goat villagers. And by the way, don't be offended if you love Sherb. or goats. Like, I love goats in real life, by the way. I'm obsessed with goats in real life. But in Animal Crossing, they're just not doing it for me. And that is my personal opinion. And please respect that. Also, speaking of villagers, there's a few fan favorites that I just really don't like. Yeah, I'm just gonna name them. I'm not a fan of Sherb, as I said. I'm not a fan of Raymond at all. I'm not a fan of Judy. She's just... I just don't like her. And also, this is not because they are popular. I didn't like them from the beginning, and then because they were so popular, that made me like them even less. Just putting that out there. Also not a fan of Bob. I know he's pretty popular. I really don't care for him. He's a purple cat with creepy eyes. I don't like him. And Pietro. No, it's a clown. I hate it. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on. No, wait, no. I've got a few more. I'm sorry. I'm also not a fan of KK Slider. I know a lot of people love him. I've seen people with tattoos of KK Slider. Love that for them, but KK Slider is just not for me. I don't like his design, and I don't like him when he does his awoo. I don't know. I don't like his vibe. Also not a fan of his music that much. Like, no. I prefer to listen to the hourly music. Yeah, I know it's an unpopular opinion. I'm really sorry. And last but not least, I don't like... Oh my god, you know what? All my unpopular opinions are negative. I swear I'm a pretty positive person. Like I said, I love ostrich villagers, which a lot of people don't like, and I love bird villagers. And I'm sorry, I'm just talking about the negatives right now, but I got one more. I am not a fan of what do you call that? A lot of people do these builds, like they try to make actual buildings out of items. I know it's like from a certain perspective, it's like pretty cool, but I would never do it on my own island because I don't like when you're walking past it and you can see all the individual items. And I don't like the perspective things. I just want it to look good from every angle. So, you know, those castle builds, and recently, because of the update, people have been really creative, and they've been creating like these barns and like these hippie vans, which, by the way, I love hippie vans, but I want real hippie vans as an item. I don't want to create them out of random items. Just not a fan of that. So, okay, those were my unpopular opinions. I was on fire. Sorry. Let's just get back to the more positive questions. So, my favorite hourly song, that's got to be the 5 a.m. music. And I know a lot of people love that one, but it's just so soothing and relaxing, and it makes me feel zen, and I don't know, it gives me this certain cozy vibe, and I'm all about the cozy vibes. In fact, I think all my favorite hourly music is the nighttime music. Yes, also the 3 a.m. music. I love it. It reminds me of frogs for some reason. I don't know, it's a very froggy song to me. I like the silly vibe. And yeah, I think those are my favorite, but especially the 5 a.m. one. Oh, and my least favorite hourly song is the 8 a.m. or was it 9 a.m.? There's this certain song, it starts with like a guitar. I think it's 8 a.m. I don't like that one. Okay, my favorite KK song. Oh, okay, so as I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of the KK songs, but if I had to pick one, it would be KK Condor. I think it was that one. It's like the cover of the album is KK in like a desert kind of area. Yeah, I like that. I really like deserty music. Is that a word, deserty? Probably not. But I like the desert songs. So, yeah, I like that one. Favorite NPC? Oh, I love this question because I really, really do have a favorite NPC, which is Celeste. I am obsessed with little Celeste because, as I mentioned, I love birds, so I also love owls. So I think Celeste and Blathers have really cute designs, but Celeste especially because I love her color palettes. I love the bow on the back of her head, and I love her little sparkly eyes when she looks up at the sky. And I love the fact that she is into astrology, stars, the night sky, because I'm into that. Like, I know a lot of people don't believe in astrology, and that's fine, but I do believe in it. Just a little disclaimer, I know zodiac signs just purely based on your sun sign. That doesn't tell you much, and it's not always as accurate, and there's more than just 12 personalities. But, you know, people who always say that, like, I don't believe in astrology because there's more than 12 personalities, they usually don't know that there's a whole birth chart involved in astrology. It's not just your sun sign. Your sun sign doesn't say that much about you. Which is, yeah, fun fact, if you didn't know about that, look up your birth charts. It's really interesting. Like, that was really, really an eye-opener to me. Because everything made so much sense. It's actually scary. So that is something I would recommend if you haven't done that yet. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent about astrology, which is not my intention. I'm just saying I love Celeste for multiple reasons, and her obsession with astrology is one of those reasons. So yeah, she's my favorite. Okay, my current flag, that is a picture of my dog Tywin, also known as BBs. Yeah, it's just a picture I took of him, I think last summer, and I uploaded it and turned it into a code that I could scan into the game. So that's my my island flag right now. My current island tune. Let me think. I think my current tune is what's it called? The lullaby? No, the windfish. Something windfish. It's one of the songs from The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Ballad of the Windfish. I think that's it. I think it's a really cute song, and I do love that game. So that's my current one, but I've also had lots of Studio Ghibli songs for my island tunes. Ooh, what is your favorite event so far? In terms of items, it's either the cherry blossom. Actually, I don't know if the cherry blossom is an actual event. Maybe it's just a season. Okay. So for events, in terms of items, I think Halloween was my favorite event. And then I also really like the cherry blossom items and the autumn items, like all the mushroom stuff. That is absolutely my favorite. What was your longest villager hunt ever? I haven't done that many villager hunts actually, but I think the longest one I've ever done was my very first one. I saved up for that for a very long time. I think I wasted around 100 tickets, and I ended up with no one. I didn't take any of the villagers, and then I ran out of tickets, and I ended up with a randomly assigned villager, which was Vladimir. And yeah, that was a journey. It was a journey to try and get rid of him, because this was back in a period when we weren't sure yet how to get rid of villagers. So I was stuck with him for a good while, and yeah, I was not a fan. Not a fan at all. So yeah, that was my longest villager hunt. It was around 100 tickets, and I didn't get anything out of it. Even though back then I didn't have any of my dreamies yet, so I had about 10 villagers that I really wanted, and none of them appeared. So that was pretty upsetting. My biggest regrets. My biggest regret in Animal Crossing is, besides my island name, is the fact that I had Ellie on my campsite and I didn't take her. And yeah, that is a regret because I haven't seen her since. She hasn't been to my campsite and I haven't seen her on any mystery islands. And I really want her now, but back then I thought she was incredibly cute, like insanely cute, but I just didn't know who to let go. So in the end I let her go. But I should have taken her. I wish I did because yeah, I really want her now, and I'm gonna make it my mission to get Ellie to move to Tropici. What is your favorite tree? Ooh, okay, so probably the autumn trees, preferably during maple season, which is I think the second half of November. So during maple season, all the trees are completely red, and there's maple leaves flying around, and oh, the aesthetic. I love it. I'm obsessed. But I also love the cherry blossom trees. But if I had to pick, it would be the red autumn trees. Oh, but I wish they would add willows, because a willow is my favorite tree in real life. I'm obsessed with willow trees. They look so magical and almost ethereal, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my favorite tree, and I wish they would add it to the game. I think that would be really pretty. And then the last question in this tag is, if you could add or update anything in the game, what would it be? Ooh. Okay, so I got a lot, but I didn't prepare this, so off the top of my head, this is really difficult. But let me try. Let me give it a try. So first of all, obviously there is the quality of life updates that everyone is hoping for. And since we got those extra designer slots, a little bit of extra hope has sparked for more quality of life updates in the future. So I wish we could craft multiple items at the same time. And I wish we could select multiple items in our inventory. So say you picked up a lot of items and you want to put them in your storage, in your home. I wish you wouldn't have to do it one by one, but you could just select multiple things and add them to your storage. That is that's two things I'm hoping for. Then also, this is pretty specific to me. I wish they would add more boho stuff. So more items. Because my new island, or well, the new Tropici, is going to be a bohemian island. So I guess you could call it boho core. And there's not that many items I can use. I have to be very careful not to make it too cottagecore, because I feel like a lot of items I am going to use for boho core are also items that you could use for cottagecore. So I have to watch that. So yeah, I wish they would have more, or I wish we would have more bohemian inspired stuff, such as dried flowers. Yeah, a hippie van. I talked about this earlier in this video. I wish they would add an actual van that we could put down. And I wish we could add fairy lights, like strings of fairy lights, maybe even connected to a pole. I mean, I guess we kind of got that during the pave event, when we got those lights on a string. But they're just not really the aesthetic I'm looking for. because they have all these feathers and these colorful detailing. And what I'm looking for is just a simple black string with light bulbs attached to it. Just more neutral colored stuff. I think, oh, that would be so cute. And like I said, a hippie van. I'm really happy with the kid stands because they are very, very boho, especially the brown and the white one. So I'm gonna use those a lot. Also, I wish we could add rugs outside. So actual rugs that we can use inside, I wish we could also use them outside. That would save a lot of design slots. I mean, obviously we have 100 now, but still I like saving them for stuff we cannot get in game. But yeah, rugs. There's this lacy rug. I wish we could use it outside and like put items on it, and oh, that would be cute. That would be so adorable. And then something I also wish they would add is an option to add art to walls. I mean, I know you can use custom designs on your walls in the form of wallpaper, and I think there's a few items that you can use to put like custom designs framed on the walls, but I just want a simple frame, or maybe even a gallery wall of frame, yeah, like, you know, some frames grouped together, which you can customize all together. So you can pick all these different designs that go into the frames. So you could have a gallery wall or an art wall. Yeah, I think that's something I would really want to add to the game. And that's everything off the top of my head. Obviously, I got more, but I just can't think of it right now. But we are getting to the end of this video. I'm almost done demolishing the island. This was a journey. It took me a while, but I'm glad I've done it, because from now on I can start building everything up. So let's start building this bohemian inspired island together. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!